underway for this next series. Gentlemen, some thoughts for Beach. He is very calm after a 2-0. If I were a rookie in his shoes, I'd be freaking out after that one. I cannot believe how well he was holding it.
He's a shy boy. He's a shy boy. That's the one thing I've always heard from his scrims, that Meech is very, very quiet in a lot of those things. So, you know, I expected that out of the interview, for him to just be nice, calm, and composed.
Mm-hmm.
I like the big picture when he's talking about how he's playing around cooldowns, the logic of what the other team wants to do, and how he can counter that. That tells me that it's a player that's trying to continuously increase their understanding of the game, understanding where they're at. I really like hearing that from Meech, actually. And hey, a few games into Academy, I know he was thrilled to get that spot, and I think he's been doing really well, making the most of it so far. So good to see.
Certainly the case. He was even able to basically just say, yeah, you know what, I'm focusing on Academy right now. You'd think a lot of players would kind of get the big eyes and say, no, I'm going straight to LCS. I love how focused he actually is. But that is it for this game. We got the 2-0 result for CLG Academy. We got one more here over on Path to LCS. It is going to be Dignitas Academy taking on C9 Academy. And this one I was very, very hyped about coming into today, especially after some of the results we saw yesterday. So, gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about it, the matchup between these two.
Dignitas had a nice bounce back, I'd say, with a 2-0 over GGA. I know the 0-2 versus TLA wasn't the way they wanted to have things go, but also C9 picking up a game off of Team Liquid Academy. I guess today, yesterday was saying they had one scrim day of practice. I guess we could say they have 2 days of practice now. We already saw one on stage, and I'm curious to see what C9 can bring to the table, because currently each of these teams are postured in the middle of the standings. I know that C9 believes they can compete with the top of the table. If they want to prove that, no matter how much practice you have to put up good games against teams like this in the middle of the pack. So really curious to see if C9 can live up to that, because I think Dig's better than what the record shows.
Ooh. Do you agree with that one, Destrix?
Yeah, I very much do. Looking at C9, one of the things that got me was just how long it took before we got the main roster, right? We had Alorum in the top lane, we had Wixie over in the bottom lane with Trevor, and now that we have their entire roster coming together, it has been exciting seeing them perform, and this puts a lot of stress over towards Dignitas to show up in every single lane, because there's so much talent that you're matching with when you have Insanity versus Copy, Spawn and JJ versus King and Destiny. There is a lot you have to match up with. You know, you still have Tony Top going against Darshan. That's kind of a classic Academy matchup that's very much fun to watch unfold. So I think this is a heated matchup.
Ooh, I think so too. And, speaking of things heating up as well, we focus a lot on that jungle for Dignitas sometimes. XU himself, very outspoken player, did show up yesterday, and I think there was a little bit uncertainty about whether that would happen. It was exciting to see yesterday's games.
I mean, XU is someone that really has a high expectation for himself. And I like when players, take a step back and say, I'm not living up to that. And he mentioned that in an earlier interview, this split. But man, I thought he really delivered yesterday. And it was a big part of the reason why his team found the 2-0 against GGA, especially the comeback win in Game 2.
Absolutely. In that interview as well, I think he did smack talk a little bit of some of the other junglers in the league. Let's take a listen.
Junglers right now in Academy Summer?
Not particularly. I heard Chad wanted to make enemies with everyone so that he would have a personal vendetta, but I don't think Chad's that good. So he has some fuel for himself. And then I know Shaden was really hyped up, and so was Will, but I think they both had even worse debuts than I did, so it's okay. I think today will be. I think my competition is not as great as they're hyped up to be.
Soft flex, no big deal, XU. I like it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely Shaden there at the end too. Well, gents, you think he's been able to back it up based on yesterday?
I think that both junglers are playing better. I think that both had a tough week 1. That's when the interview happened. But I think that Shaden is really... I think Shaden's been really good. And it's good to see XU have a good performance like he did yesterday on the Lee Sin, the comfort picking up the win there, but also the Wukong. I thought he team fought fantastically, had some creative pathing early, which I always expect to see out of XU and always love to see out of him. It's going to be a really fun jungle matchup today, as I think each of these junglers can put each other to the test. Definitely people that we are looking at that could jump to that next level in the near future, and I'm excited to see them go toe-to-toe for the first time in Academy today.
And I love the banter. I love the banter so much. It's slowly kind of making me into a Dignitas fan because Insanity is very hard on this banter as well. We've seen his tweets and what he throws out there. Even when they got bested by CLG, he was still tweeting out, you know, you still suck, Juves. So this banter that's coming out, you know, I think it's healthy for a lot of the competition that we have here in Academy. It's always fun to see it unfold.
It's fun.
I like it. Now, I wonder though, like, because clearly we know that they can talk the talk, but let's see if XU's been able to walk the walk. I think we have a clip.
Yeah. So XU, again, yesterday, highlighting some of the creative pathing he had. Going around this ward to impact the bot lane early was huge. And then later, the team fight. I mean, this is a game that I feel like Golden Guardian should have won. They were sieging on Nexus turrets and with a man advantage, but look at how both Tony Top or I should say XU and JJ, I believe, utilize the stopwatches on the back half, prevent the reset from Acadian's Viego, and then Spawn just cleans up on the back half. I thought the Dig had a really nice look yesterday. I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can continue it today against stiffer competition in C9.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think we'll have to see if it's going to work out for them because Cloud9's roster, now that they have it all back together, certainly are no slouches here. So taking a look at them, I mean, this is the team that said we can challenge for the top spots. They definitely made a play for it yesterday.
Yeah, taking one game off of TLA, our top dogs. TLA, you know, they're going to say they beat themselves, but I'm still going to give a lot of credit over to C9A for actually being able to do it. I think a big part of their game plans has been Shaden playing through Darshan. Darshan, in his first few games here, he has the highest goal differential at 10 in the entire league, over 550 gold on average at 10. That's not just Darshan doing that on his own. That's a lot of attention being paid towards that top lane, not only by Shaden, but also by Copy, who's sacking a lot of his own resources to make sure that Darshan's set up for success. And Darshan has been carrying a few of these games through 2 victories for C9. So I'm curious if that play continues. And I'm also curious if Shaden can continue to show some flexibility, some malleability in the jungle early. This guy was a solo queue superstar. We saw him really funnel himself to some early victories for C9. But now I'm also seeing him sacrifice his own camps to go help his team, fix his laners' lane states, make sure that he's attacking at the right times. These are the evolutions I'm looking for out of a jungler who is having his first split and competitive, and I'm really hoping that Shaden continues that today.
Yeah, that's the transition, right? Going from just being a solo queue player into the competitive space and learning how to expand upon that macro, learning how to be a good teammate. You know, it's a lot of ground that Shaden's looking to make up here, and he's doing it quite fast. He's playing like he wants to make this up. You know, so far, he's been one of the most exciting junglers to watch in 2022 so far, in this summer split so far. So I like what he's doing. I like Cloud9 as a whole, especially now that they have their powerhouse bot lane together. And I do think they're one of the more competitive teams when it comes down to things. I think they are one of the teams that definitely hold a more competitive candle to 100 Thieves.
Ooh, I do like that metaphor. Well, let's see how they've been doing. I think we have a little bit of gameplay clips from yesterday and see how they've been going with their play on the Rift.
And again, for C9, this was a huge victory against TLA. They are a roster that wants to compete against the top dogs. They believe they can prove it. And with one day of scrims, I know that TLA didn't have their best showing, but still, it shows that this roster can compete with the top of the table, can try and take down our champions that we had in spring. And it was not just a victory over TLA, it was dominant. The few mistakes they made on the map early were punished heavily. And once TLA had to look to get back in this one, C9 shut them down immediately. Really nice dragon fight here from Shaden. King got fed out of his goddamn mind. C9 capitalized.
And, you know, for Team Liquid to be brutalized in such a way, to me, is shocking. Team Liquid has been one of the more well-rounded teams when it comes to Academy. So seeing Cloud9 put on such a dominant performance in that game number 1, man, they are here to compete.
Oh, yeah, this was a really impressive performance, and even with the 1-1 split. But, you know, this is a team that not only has a lot of raw power, they have a lot of experience, and I think it'd be worth a listening to see what Darshan had to say about the rest of his team and the environment there.
I think it's nice to be in a team environment where everyone's kind of, like, willing to listen and pretty open-minded. I think we only had 2 days of scrims, and we won, like, every single game, so, like, I want to see more when we lose scrims. What we can take away and how we approach that, because I think it's easy to be happy when you're winning, but I think true growth and true, like a true test of a team is how you approach losing. So I hope we lose some more scrims.
Hope they lose some scrims. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's confidence right there.
Yeah, he wants the shade and mental to be strong for the stage. That's why. You know, get the new player in, get him used to losing some scrims. He didn't lose a lot in solo queue, as he did hold rank 1 and 2 at the same time. So, you know, you got to build up that tolerance fast.
Alrighty. Well, I am hearing that we are ready for a champion select for game number 1. So, Cubby Desrex, take it away.
All right, thank you, Pyra. And with this one, Dignitas Academy versus Cloud9 Academy, I'm going to be looking at the jungle role a lot. I'm going to be looking at XU versus Sheen. And I don't know about you. What are you feeling on this one, Cubby?
I feel like this is an exciting matchup, given that XU versus Shaden, again, 2 players that, you know, when we talk about these guys, when we look at them, we feel like these are players that could jump to the next level in the next year. But I think one of the big difference makers for me, and someone that just is not talked about enough on the side of Dignitas, is Spawn in the bot lane. And I think Spawn, start of the split, has been really good. Highest KDA out of all marksmen. He has been solid in all of his games. This guy, his laning's improved, and he will never position in a place where he is vulnerable. I rarely see him make mistakes at those stages of the game. So I really hope that Spawn can continue to show his prowess on whatever champ he's pulling out. And it's a good test for him to go up against King and Destiny, who have had success together as a duo on multiple professional and even international stages now in Academy.
I do like how Spawn came in to this split. He came in with comfort in mind first when it came to a 12.10, focusing more on the Lucian picks than anything else. As we went into the next patch, instantly diversifying out, playing as many different marksmen as he can. So Spawn looking so good so far in this split as we do get our bans going out. Talia, of course, target banning towards Shaden, who has played so well into that pick. Karma and Fiora also banned away Fiora, kind of a Darshan special over there, and just a strong pick altogether as Zeri and Wukong also banned.
We'll see if Lucian or Senna is taken off the table or if both are left up, as these have been the power picks. The most played so far this split for Spawn, it has been that Lucian, where he has been really good, that will be taken off the board. We'll see if it's a Senna first pick now for the side of Dignitas, and if C9 decides to split up the Senna Tahm Kench.
Yeah, so Senna getting locked in by Dignitas is still leaving the Viego up, which is another champion that can be taken, been a little bit more powerful in that jungle position, as well as taking a look at what marksmen are still available. Ezreal is one of the first ones that comes to mind. Also Callista is another one that comes to mind, so only 5 seconds left on the clock. 2 picks over to Cloud9.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see the Ezreal and then potentially the champion here for Shaden. Viego's on the board with Wukong off. Viego's still a very high tier jungler, and it would be a bit of a deny away from XU, as that is his most played to start off the split. And it would potentially give XU the Wii Sim, which I'm a little bit biased towards. But will not be the case. Instead, I would not be surprised if this is locked in as King, Destiny. With what we've seen from this roster so far, it's been about them taking the backseat in the earlier stages of the game and coming up big later. Ezreal, Yuumi, the scaling bot lane identity. We'll see if Dignitas ends up matching it with a Tahm Kench for the Senna, or if they have something creative up their sleeve to punish this lane that will be weak early.
Yeah, so the cat on book will be locked for Cloud9, and following the standard procedure of locking in this duo will be Dignitas as they go with Senna, Tahm Kench. A very hard lane to dive. Lots of survivability down in that bottom lane. Next pick coming out for Dignitas. Hovering the Viego, something we had pointed out earlier. Still left on the table. Expect this to be locked in.
I gotta say, we have yet to see the Shaden Lee Sin. I would love to see the Shaden Lee Sin. It is really good. I don't love it into the set of Tahm Kench, but it is a matchup you can play into the Viego. I have a feeling it's going to be the Graves, as Shaden oftentimes was drawing marksman bans, especially on the last patch. His Graves, his Kindred, 2 champions that he is really known for on the ladder. It will be the Graves this game, as the C9 have a lot of range, some ability to brawl, and Dignitas have a rather short-range composition between the Tahm Kench and the Viego. So I'm curious if C9 opts into more ways to try and punish that. And it looks like they could be setting up a matchup, or a blind pick, potentially for Darshan. Maybe just taking away that Jax to set up Darshan for the blind. Could also just be a target at Tony Top, who is not afraid to blind this champion and it is by far his best champion. He has yet to drop a game on it so far in this split.
It's so funny. You get him to sub in, and he's just like, just give me Jax, man. Just give me Jax. I'll be fine. I'll sub for your team. No worries. As more bans come in, I want to throw back to that Lee Sin you were just talking about. Are we ever going to get a chance to see Shaden play it? Because I know Lee Sin has been popping up more and more around the early game, especially for this patch. A lot of the stats in other regions for Lee Sin has just been early game domination for first Heralds, first Drakes, first Bloods, pretty much first anything for Lee Sin.
He's really good at it. So I mean I'm always going to be a little bit biased, but
I want to see it, man.
We'll see.
Gotta see it. Gotta see
that
it.
is the case or not. As a couple mid lane bans thrown out, targeting Copy, some of the specialty picks that he has up his sleeve. I think it is worth noting Copy can flex that Graves mid. So, you know, might as well just highlight that, as with all the jungle hovers, maybe it is going to be the blind Graves mid. It would be crazy. Not going to be the case. Instead, it is Gwen. That is a deny pick from Tony Top, as Gwen was his most played last split when he was competing with Golden Guardians Academy. And Darshan was really big on it. It was in their series against Golden Guardians Academy. Helped them overcome a Baron Elder Soul team thanks to his play on the Gwen.
All right, so far a lot of skirmish coming out of Cloud9. Not too much established on frontline, but Dignitas are responding with the Corkster. It's going to be locked in.
Summoning Circle.
He's coming in. He's coming in. We're back into that meta. Don't worry, Cubby. Don't worry. It is a lot of disdain, but I know. Azir, Corki, Victor. The, I guess I'll call them the three horsemen of the meta apocalypse in the mid lane.
All right. Do we see Copy thrown on the gauntlet and take something like Aurelia? That's the big question here. It would be crazy pick, but Aurelia would win into both Jace and Corki. C9 love the side lane. It's one way you can get around the Corki poke. I would not be surprised to see Copy throw down and take something like that. If not, probably going to be something that can pressure the Corki early and roam. That will be the option, as Copy does lock in that Ahri.
All right, so both compositions now locked in with the Ahri. A lot of skirmish and a lot of mid-game pick that's coming out of Cloud9. Looking at Dignitas, and that poke can get pretty nasty with both the Jace and Corki.
And for the side of C9, I think big part of their game plan is going to be Shaden and Copy, again, working together to go impact that top lane. Go help get Darshan ahead. With the Ahri, with the Graves, you should have priority early. I want to see them utilize that to move top and try and get this Jace behind so you can delay some of that poke. And the big key for Dignitas, get to that double Miramana state where you have the Corki, you have the Jace, you can out-poke the Ezreal. There will be the Yuumi sustain, but I think that's where Dignitas are going to get really, really comfortable in this composition. And we'll see if they can get their fight around the package timers and make the most of that.
Yeah, I'm always excited for those package timer fights, especially considering the poke that we have on the side of Dignitas. A lot of this is going to be just get those rockets in, get those shock blasts in, and the moment they're low enough, we're going to cut the field with that package. We'll see if they're able to pull that one out, but we are ready to hit the rift now. It's going to be Dignitas Academy versus Cloud9 Academy, and with this match coming up, it will be our final one of the day. Moving together as a 5-unit, it's going to be Dignitas. Final series of the day.
We got 2 games.
Final
Yeah, there we go.
series.
We got a bonus game still.
You got to keep me in line.
Yeah, you know, that's what we're here to do. Also worth mentioning, Dignitas, it is the Corki summoning circle, as they have summoned Corki. Just had to bring that up. That's a big deal. Fun tweet from the Dignitas Twitter that has been having a lot of fun with the Academy team. I know, talking with Insanity too, he's been pretty thrilled about the team culture that he's walked into with Dignitas. I think it's something that their coach Deos has done a really nice job of building. Last split having a lot of fun, this split having a lot of fun. As Insanity put, it's been a good place for him. Yeah, he said it's been a good place to work on being a leader. He's thrilled with his teammates. The vibes are fun, so they're having a really good time practicing, hanging out. I think some of it's showing on the Rift with some of their team calls too. We'll see if they can summon some of that energy against C9 today.
I would very much argue the best vibes are on Dignitas Academy right now. You can't convince me otherwise.
The vibe check?
It's the vibe check. It's the ultimate vibe check that you're never going to pass.
Well, we'll see if XU can pass the vibe check, as he is going for the
he's on
Raptor
Dignitas.
start.
Of course he's passing it.
He's going for the Raptor start. That's leashless. This is the start you go for when you want those camps to respawn a bit quicker on the back half. See if XU goes for the red, or opts to go down to the Krugs next. It will be red to Krugs, and it will be spotted by the side of C9.
So tracking out that pathing, that ward right
he's not
there.
going to Krugs. Don't need the Krugs. We're gonna... You got a 5 camp if you want to be
Yeah.
to the crab on time as the Viego. So Axu, knowing that, we'll skip over the rocks. Save those for later. Whereas Shaden, he's going for the full clear.
It's going to give XU a little bit of a quicker time to get onto that scuttle and potentially play towards the top side. This is matched jungle pathing that's coming out of Shaden so far.
And so far, Tony Top actually doing a nice job of executing this lane. Early on the Jace has Darshan pretty low, pretty far behind early. Already got the health potion out of him with the Doran shield. Of course, both junglers will be working up here. As it looks like Axu even going to skip over the wolves. And the blue buff as Axu is just sprinting to get up in the face of Shaden.
After skipping that camp, the golems over on the bottom side, XU had something in mind with the faster clear, and that's to meet Shaden inside of his own jungle. So going to chase him down now as the stun comes through. A couple of autos going on to Shaden as he tries to defend himself at his own red buff. Tony Top with priority will be able to push out and get free. Has the shock blast. Here comes the stun. Shock blast goes through. Almost takes down Shaden. But XU flashing forward. Shaden is going to survive XU. So close but so far.
Oh, it was a great play from Axu, but you can't go for the kill under the turret. Even if you get it, you flashed in. I don't think you'll live on the back half.
Oh no.
XU falling, that's all the good work being put behind early as Copy. I think he might have canceled that last auto attack. That could have been enough. And Tony Top, oh boy. Okay, well he's dead. Things just fall apart for Dignitas across the rift here, Dasarex.
Wow. It was good positioning coming out of Cloud9. You know, they had the priority over on that top side, but I guess XU just feeling a little bit too confident earlier on that dive. What a misstep out of Dignitas in this early game.
And for the side of C9, this is a great start because look at the inventories of Dignitas. The solo laner stacking up 2 tiers now. Ari does not have to match that. She's going to have the push into the Corki. And there's no flash available for either of these mid laners. So Shaden, having priority, being ahead in this jungle matchup, has the potential to try and impact this lane, utilize some of that gank assist from the Ari. See if they can put Insanity even further behind on the Corki early.
The top side of the map looking good. Dignitas trying to put it in their favor for the bottom side of the map, but again, it's into King, it's into Destiny, and that is a hard cookie to crack. So they get pushed over towards their tower. Rosethorn now pathing towards the bottom side, where we have this hard shove. Taking a look at that attack that we saw earlier coming out from XU, going with this very, very deep dive. I mean, you had said it. It's a huge risk to flash forward and go for this.
You just can't flash there. Even if you flash in, you die. And yeah, I mean, if you retreat, you can at least pressure some of the camps. You have Tony Top helping you out very briefly, but not the case. XU oversteps. Shaden gets the best of him, and now Shaden off to the races on this Gorge Drinker Graves build, as him and XU will meet. Yeah. Worth noting, both junglers, their smites coming off cooldown soon. XU, not knowing what Shaden's smite is, will just decide to back off, as the only camp he has left to clear is his Krugs, which he has yet to touch. And he will be spotted moving up to this top side. Will force Darshan to at least retreat a little bit.
And Darshan looking to back off here. Moving up is Shaden. Over the wall is Shaden as well. He was expecting this to come out of XU.
Yeah, I think Shaden is waiting to show. He will be spotted by a ward, but Tony Top's very far up. Doesn't have the E anymore. And we'll see if Shaden can sneak on in. Darshan has ult.
Doesn't have flash. This is
he's
dusted
dead.
right here. There's no way for Tony to get out. Easy kill coming out from Shaden.
Great play, great read, and look at that lane state for Darshan too. He can choose whether or not he wants to crash that or just keep it there, as he's going to keep it there in base. All those resources for Tony Top will go to the wayside, and Shaden working with Darshan. Yeah, he misses a cannon. Tony Top misses more. It's fine. It's fine, guys. -1's in the chat. That's fine. It's still a big dub for the side of Darshan. As that's been the game plan for C9 early in the season. It's been Shaden and Darshan working together. And damn, has it looked good. Again, Darshan has the highest goal differential of 10 in the league. Plus 554. And he is growing that gold lead already. Has a couple more minutes to go. See if he can beat his average. But with the help of Shaden, it's been a great start for the top winner, C9.
Now Shaden trying to respond to the bottom lane. XU going to back off. So, no contest going to be had. Dragon is available. Scuttlecrab will be spawning soon. So take a look back over towards this top side where Darshan has just been controlling the lane, has it frozen in front of his tower, and Tony Top, so much anguish for him, especially being on his Jace, which is not a cheap champion to take on the Rift.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those Qs too on the Jace, even if as you just try and take a creep or two. If you AoE, you keep that lane frozen on yourself, which is exactly what Darshan wants, because if Tony Top overextends at all, he can pop Ghost, he can pop Ult, and just chase him down. And Darshan up a level now because he has starved Tony Top out of so much gold and XP from the minions. He has that ultimate back up, so if Tony Top looks at him the wrong way, he will pop the Ghost, he will chase him down. And Tony just cannot play the lane. So you can see Tony, he's looking for other stuff to do. And there is not much to do on the Rift here for the top laner, Dignitas.
And he needs XU so bad to undo that freeze for him. Because Darshan's just going to hold it here for as long as he can.
Yeah.
It is so bad for Tony Top. He can't even get the CS in. Pretty much has to use the Shock Blast to get anything. And you can see how scared he is, how skittish he is. CS lead just growing for Darshan and no relief for poor Tony.
Knows that if he uses it on those two creeps, Darshan just pulls it for himself, and because of that freeze, now Darshan, we'll see if Darshan breaks it, as Shaden has started up Rift Herald on spawn, and you see Darshan posturing a little bit more aggressively. He wants to keep this as long as he can, but he will break it if he feels like they cannot make the play, or they have to break it to make the play for the Rift Herald, but it's not the case. XU will wait to see if he can make a play on this top side, but Darshan stuck a ward in there. And XU is going to be spotted as Rift Herald falls over to the side of C9.
Yeah, Darshan knows exactly what the play is for Dignitas. Free up Tony Top. Don't let him be stuck in that lane state for that long. So Darshan, knowing that having that ward there preemptively means XU can do nothing about it. Tony Top is still going to struggle, still going to suffer.
And while this is all going on, bot lane, what do you have? You have an Ezreal. So plenty of room to farm with the range. You can see King trying to walk up, just not get caught, as he's even getting some first strike gold off the Toad, as his cat may not be there, but he's feeling pretty good, putting as many mystic shots as he can into the catfish. And C9, a blistering start with this early game, all built around Darshan, and honestly the play of Shaden. One mistake from XU, the way that Shaden's been able to capitalize off that, this is something I would expect out of a veteran academy player, you know, someone that we are preaching to go up to the next level. Shaden's only been playing this league for 3 weeks. The fact that he is able to make decisions like this, snowball his own lead off of one mistake from his opponent, great sign of growth from him early. One of the reasons we are so excited about him as a prospect moving forward.
He's so good at exploiting weak points of other teams, understanding where a team is strong and attacking the complete opposite end of that. Shaden's so good. Also,
I mean, his jungle pool, like what he's known for in solo queue, you think of Kindred, you think of Graves, you think of Nidalee. Those are oppressive junglers where if you get ahead, you can get up in the face of the enemy jungler and just snowball yourself ahead. I really feel like that is the greatest strength of Shaden. That and the fact that he's a naturally gifted mage player, which I think is really difficult to find with a lot of junglers. His Talia is really, really, really good. So I think it's a good sign early for the jungler of C9 as, okay.
Yeah, lockdown, here comes the ultimate. King has to flash away. Shaden is here, though. Shaden now walking over towards JJ and Spawn. Puts down the smoke screen. A burst of damage onto Spawn, but the Devourer is going to keep him safe. Teleport now coming out. Backing out is going to be Cloud9. Insanity does have the package. Is looking for a way in. King still low. Ooh, King. Arcane shift away. Getting chased down by Insanity. One more Rocket's able to do it. A kill coming out. Dignitas finding the pick in the bot lane. Now hopping off onto Shaden. Copy, trying to make the play. Looking for the charm. Can't get much. Dignitas, they will get priority of the river. They will get the Drake. Cloud9 still looking to contest, though.
Good play from Dig. They really needed to make a play. And Insanity, again, one of the people that has stepped up and really been a leader for this team. Having the package, doing something proactive with the TP. Dignitas desperately needed that to get some sort of foothold on the Rift. They find a positive play for themselves in the bot lane and take the Dragon.
And signs of life coming out from Dignitas off of that play. Insanity with the package. It's the power of what it can do. King, no sums really left over there. Insanity just chasing him down, and that's all that's needed to give Dignitas a window of opportunity into this. Insanity gets the first kill and is playing well into this lane versus Copy.
Again, Copy has dropped a few bonus waves to try and go impact the BAP. Walking instead of, I should say, walking bot and then TPing back. One of the examples, but Copy putting himself behind to help out his teammates. It still is a lead for C9. But this matchup at this point, it only gets better for the Corki. And Insanity will only be able to funnel more and more resources into himself compared to what Copy will be able to do. So, again, that is a backup win condition for the side of Dignitas. But Copy, he's roaming, and Tony Top, he's going to have to drop this wave or else he's getting dove.
He's called for backup. XU's here, and there's no Spirit Rush on Copy, so this is going to be a hard dive to pull off as Shaden shows up towards this top side. Meets up with XU. Still attempting to dive is going to be Cloud9. They're putting down the Rift Herald. We'll get a charge in. Still got a minute 20 with the turret plates available. The minion wave crashing towards the tower. The play is going to be a dive onto XU. Burst of damage onto XU. The ultimate going to be used, but Copy says no. Shaden will grab the kill. Now focusing on to Tony. Tony getting chased down by Shaden and Copy. Still trying to return fire. Gets a good burst going, but Shaden has to retreat. Runs really low off of that turret shot. And now a new challenger has arrived. King going to join the fight with the true shot barrage with flair, with style. King will take down Tony.
And look at the team-wide rotation from C9. Their bot lane goes from bot to mid to top. Darshan is able to TP bottom to try and pick up this wave. And because Insanity's still mid, guess what? Another TP is being utilized by C9 to pick up the wave. So C9, they get kills in the top lane. They get the Herald to crash. They get plays for themselves. And they don't barely drop any waves across the rift. Really good team play coming from C9 across the entire map.
Cloud9 looking so good. Now with these early stages of the game, holding a 2K lead. Dignitas still finding something over in the bot lane as they have collected 2 plates, but you look at the top, and Copy has just cashed in on first brick.
That's one way to catch up from that slight deficit you had against the Corki. Just walk top, get the Shelly donated, and take it all for yourself. Not bad. And again, for the side of C9, that was a team-wide play. They barely dropped any resources across the rift. So good from them, as they have now bolstered their gold lead to a whopping 3K in this early game, Deserex.
14 minutes.
And this is so tough for the side of Dignitas because we talked about what their comp needs. They need Miramanas to come in. Senatom Kench is the bridge to get themselves to that state. Who has the only Miramana on the Rift so far? It is King. He started with a tier. He rushed the Miramana. It has already evolved 14 minutes in. That is way ahead of schedule. So this Ezreal is going to be hitting so hard. It's going to take so long now for Corki to get on the map. Yeah. And C9, in the meantime, everything should be theirs. They will be feasting in the next 5 to 10 minutes on the Rift.
You're praying for a God-tier Corki package play to really save a lot of things here, Dignitas. So bad for Tony. He's been focused. He's been starved out. It's a famine over on that top side. He's lost his tower. He's lost every brick. Hard lane for Tony to deal with as Darshan goes for the engage onto Insanity, forcing the flash out.
Flash for Ghost, well worth it for Darshan. And again, Insanity will be under pressure in the side lane against the Gwen. I say that, and Insanity is pumping out damage into Darshan. Really well played. XU should ult.
Ooh, now coming in. XU.
Oh, nice
a nice sidestep out of Darshan.
Wow.
Even XU's paying respects to that one.
Good stuff from Darshan. To show bot what's happening meanwhile. Shaden gets Rift Herald for free. King able to buffer that. Walk away from JJ. As the Ezreal Yuumi holds strong, and C9 still winning the war of attrition across the Rift. It will be... Uh-oh.
Oh, another dive on the Tony.
Oh, man.
Not again.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, it will be an outer turret falling in favor of Dignitas, but it's going to be an inner turret falling in favor of C9. That's a trade-up. Is they're going to look for more. King doesn't have to burn the Arcane Shift, still has Flash. Actually, you can't get any more aggressive, whereas Insanity, oh boy.
Here we go, Insanity going in. Shaden will hop right over the line. Not much mana left for Copy, so he doesn't have much left other than this final pulse of the Spirit Rush, and it is enough to take down Insanity. The play in the bot lane coming out for Cloud9. Still trying to set up the siege here. Is going to be Dignitas, but King has enough mana to get enough Mystic shots to clear that wave.
Shaded even fitting in a recall animation before he picks up that kill. That's a little bit BM on his part, but I'd say he's deserved it.
Shaden.
4-0-3. Shaden's been involved in everything across the rift. Oh boy, Darshan, that's 1v3. He's strong though.
Yeah, Darshan, he's just going right in. Now King chasing down Spawn. Darshan doesn't give a damn. Goes after JJ, still can't take him down, but it's going to chase away
look at the tempo.
Remaining members right there of Dignitas.
Yeah, so Dig just get chased off by Darshan, 1v3, but that's mid, outer, falling now for C9. King doesn't have any mana, so he can't stick around to get the crash into the inner turret, but One play from Darshan and the resources that C9 has. They have more gold. Darshan, very strong at this moment. He knows it. He walks in 1v3. He forces Dignitas off and enables his team to get something else on the Rift. That's what I've been so impressed about with C9 so far this game, Deserex. Yes, they are making proactive plays, but they are doing it as a team where they're not dropping so much gold, so much XP elsewhere. That's something that a lot of our Academy teams get trapped by. Trying to make plays, but dropping too much to make them. C9, they've done the opposite of that. They've dropped nothing while they've been making all these plays across the Rift. It's been great to watch.
Oh, so great to watch. And with that last play, Darshan, it didn't matter that he didn't grab the Drake. The objective wasn't the Drake. The objective was just to make sure that Dignitas had no control. The rest of Cloud9 taking structures across the map off of the pressure that Darshan was able to apply there. And now still keeping that pressure up. You have a lot of vision on that Baron side. You haven't gotten the deep vision yet coming out for Cloud9. A lot of that still belonging to Dignitas, who are trying to back away because Shaden's right in their face and Copy has come in with the teleport. Spirit Rush available. Will not go for the dive. Just pushed away is going to be Dignitas. Now transferring that to the bot lane. Tony Top, he's like, come on, man. Come on. You've already taken my lunch money. You've taken my breakfast money. You've taken my dinner money. Let me have something, man. Another kill coming out as the 6th death of Tony Top.
It's been a tough look for Tony Top this game as Shaden. He's got a frozen heart, and he's going in 1v3, and I think he wins this.
Very much so. Walking straight through. JJ biting off more than he can chew. Shaden now getting stunned up, but here comes Insanity. You got to pay respects onto that. XU over the wall will follow through. King now trying to run away.
Uh-oh, King's in trouble.
He's running incredibly low. JJ chasing him, dodges a rocket. Still not enough. XU will grab that kill. Shaden over the wall. Now looking to finish off that red buff. Still clears it. Doesn't realize what's around him, though. So he walks right into XU. Still has the backup of Copy. Copy will not land the charm, though.
Getting wild.
Dignitas are still chasing through. They've cut off Copy. They found a route onto him, but Copy will still back up enough towards the alcove to have some safety. Shaden, he's posturing forward.
With him.
It's a 2v4. They're going straight for the 2v4. They're going after JJ. Gets annihilated. Destiny right there. The Yuumi right on top of Shaden. All that damage going through. 2v3, mind you. They still get JJ.
Yeah. Nice of you to pay respect to the Yuumi in the end here, Deserex. You know,
I
Yuumi's a champion too, man.
I forget she exists.
I think a lot of people would call that statement rather based. But, you know, we got to respect all the members that we have on the Rift. As Destiny has been doing some nice work on the Cat, especially in the hands of Shaden. Shaden, man, 5-0-4. He is scared of nothing on the Rift. And his Graves, again, a champion he was known for in solo queue. It's been so massive this game, Deserex.
Yeah.
He has had complete control. One mistake from XU, Shaden punishes like no one else.
And Shaden just caution to the wind. He goes in, he fights. Not a care in the world for his own safety. He's just there to fight. He knows his team will follow through. He knows if he brings enough to a fight, he's got the rest of Cloud9 to see it through. Now Cloud9 setting up around the Baron. Shaden might not be in the spot he wants to. Does spot out the ward as he walks forward. So not going to get caught out in that one 3v2. Saw the Yuumi this time.
They just have no damage. And it's into Yuumi. I think Yuumi sustains all the poke at this point. Even we have the 2 Evolved Miramanas coming in for Dignitas. Well, I think they have to group and try and fight this 3rd dragon. Have to try and utilize some of the poke they have to scare off C9. But look at all the map control and the strength that C9 has in their hands at the moment. It is now a 6k gold lead, 6.5k gold lead. As, you know, doing live math on air, we're doing our best here. And I think Dig is starting to feel it because they need this drag. And they are just not approaching it. They are all on the top side of the Rift. This will be all C9. Oh.
Package has been picked up by
Insanity. Might get cheeky. Yeah. There is a nice ward that C9 was able to sneak in by the Baron. So if this package is utilized to try and melt the Baron, C9 will know instantly.
Got some time.
That ward was just picked up as we are zooming in on Sierra's favorite skin. But no play will be attempted. Yeah, just the trade.
Yeah, towards the top side. You can't waste this package. This is such a good resource for Dignitas. And still holding on to it. They're just faking out a few of these backs. Seeing if someone's going to respond to this top side, but with no response, they'll commit to the recalls. Dragon. Oh man, that hurts.
And now that's not synced up with the Dragon, so it will be package spawning later. Again, I don't think Dignitas can do much, so while it does look bad to have the package be wasted, I think the fact they got a turret out of it's honestly the most they could get. As it's just a tough crawl for the side of Dig now. And we will see if they can make any plays. Again, it's got to be Insanity getting to 3 items, 4 items, and then just him connecting with every rocket for them to have a chance in this one. It really feels like the winning angle for the side of Dignitas is Insanity connecting with a few of them. Oh. That's a good start.
Oh, a nice sidestep of Insanity. Dodges both the Charm and the Everfrost. But now he's the one caught out. Trying to deal with Copy here. Darshan coming out. Now teamfight breaking out towards the river. More to be had. Chasing down Shaden. Destiny trying to keep him alive, but Darshan will take down Insanity on the opposite side of things now. Shaden looking to walk away. So much healing coming out from Shaden. He's still alive. He's still standing. He's still alive. Shaden lives. Oh my word. And the team fight will continue. Finally, he gets dropped. Tony Top able to grab that shutdown, but Darshan trying to stand strong here. Copy able to rejoin the fight. Chased away is going to be spawned because King shows up on the backline, and King is bringing the pain. Hail to the King. Another kill goes through. Darshan going on to JJ, and suddenly Cloud9, so much time bought by Shaden, and Cloud9 are going to utilize it beautifully. Darshan taking down JJ, Spawn getting dropped by Copy, a team fight win for Cloud9!
I just can't believe Shaden lived that long. The Gore Drinker Graves, the Frozen Heart, the Yuumi, it was all way too much for the side of Dig. I said I was concerned about their damage. That's why. They can't even take down a Graves plus Yuumi. Dig are so far behind in this game. We'll have to see how hard C9 pushes them now. I think that fight is going to give away the C9. They got to feel strong after that. Shaden's like, guys, I can't die. Like, there's no way these guys can kill me. Let's see how hard we can push on the map.
Guys, I think I might be immortal.
Yeah, I really don't. The fact that I died there was still a mistake. Like that's probably what Shaden's saying right now in comms. As I really want to see if C9 pushes around this Baron. They don't have a ton of Baron damage, but we will see if C9 can bounce back. What am I saying by bounce back? Can take the Baron. We're going to see if C9 can continue to snowball this game and take the Baron.
I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock that Shaden survived that.
Go drink your graves, man.
If we ever get a replay on that,
yeah, here we go.
I just will watch every single bit of it, but can't have that for the moment because Cloud9 are starting up the Baron. Dignitas trying to respond here. You have a long walk coming up for Tony Top.
They can't die. Yeah. Copy just going to wait for a pick. There are... Insanity will be spotted here shortly.
Ooh, another sidestep on the Charm, but the Everfrost is going to land this time. Good chunk of damage for both mid laners. Now walking up is going to be the top laners of both teams. Darshan isolated here. XU able to hop onto him, and that's a shutdown going through. Dignitas have just taken down Darshan. He had a lot of income. XU going to chase. Going after Shaden. Copy and King still waiting. Big threat right now. Waiting for that Charm to go through. JJ posturing forward. Charm comes out, lands on the JJ, and there's a burst of damage on the JJ. He's all by himself, no one to follow through, and he will fall. Suddenly, it's a 1-for-1. Copy looking for more. Over the wall goes after Tony Top. A lockdown for a double. King acquires it. Insanity with the hop away on the Valkyrie, looking to get away from the grasp of Cloud9, taking the blast plan on top of it. Cloud9.
Wait,
They're not done, though. Copy over the wall with the blast plan, looking for Insanity, lands the Charm, and even though the blast plant goes through, he will still fall. Cloud9, how big are they in these late team fights, Cubby?
It was the best idea for Dig. They had a 5v4. Again, I think you have to push in that scenario because this team, the game is so doomed. That's the best chance you have is a team to come back, but God, the way the C9 play around it, where C9 are at in this game, it is an unlosable game for them at this point. They have achieved what they need to achieve in this one. And Copy on the back half of this Ari. I know Copy hasn't had the best start to his split. I think his laning, he's been giving up too many resources to try and help his team. He has the lowest GD at 10 out of all mid laners, but man, that play on the Ari, getting around those minions, landing those charms, and hunting down Insanity at the back half. Good to see from Copy as he's putting together a really nice game here against Dignitas.
Yeah, that Charm onto JJ. And JJ being so far from the rest of Dignitas. A big pick there to flip that fight completely in the favor of Cloud9. Cloud9, they see that Infernal has now spawned, so they put their attention down there. Will be an Infernal Drake picked up alongside their Baron buff that they do have priority for this siege, is sending Darshan into the bottom lane. Tony top looking for the split over on the top side, sending XU towards that corner. Sanity just denying out some of these camps.
Dignitas bound to fall here as, again, that level 1 from XU, or level 3, the first play from XU, trying to invade on the Shaden. It was the right idea, it was a good start, but just went too deep, and you cannot give Shaden an inch. He is one of the newest junglers that we have in the league, but there is a reason we are so excited about this guy, what he's achieved in solo queue, the mechanical prowess that he brings to the Rift, the upside this guy has as an academy jungler. Again, C9 returning to that identity of having these developmental teams that can win the leagues and can send players to professional league. I really feel like this is a roster where, you know, we look at players like Copy, like Shaden. These are players that can jump to the next level and be effective on LCS teams. Great to see that from Shaden so early in the academy split. This guy hasn't even finished up 3 weeks of play, and he is taking it to the side of Dignitas with one of his signature champs from solo queue. Really good to see from him and C9 as, again, this game's all but done and dusted.
And so many of these young junglers have been looking fantastic here in Academy. As Cloud9 now setting up for the final siege in the top lane, in the mid lane, and in the bot lane. It's going to be hard for Dignitas to respond to. They do have the package, so looking for a play to make is going to be Dignitas. Insanity can't find his way in yet. I do believe the package just expired there, so no longer going to have that resource. Mid lane tower does go down. Bot lane tower going to be forfeit.
Slow bleed. And again, Dig, they cannot do anything. We do have 3 items on Insanity. That Maw is going to help against a lot of the champs that C9 has, but he needs level 16, and he needs another item to even dream of having an effect against what the pockets that C9 have available to them.
Yeah.
Not to mention the Yuumi, capping them off. As those big ones, they're starting to hit hard. You can see the Zoomies getting into effect, making sure that King and Destiny are that strong duo. That's the first inhibitor now falling for the side of C9.
Inhibitor down. Now rotating towards the top side, Shaden and Copy. Abyssal Dive coming out, but Copy's able to dive away. Still has 2 more charges of that Spirit Rush, getting chased down by JJ. JJ will flash forward to try and get onto Copy there.
Yeah.
And now the retreat being called by Dignitas.
I mean, you got to try something there if you're JJ. And we can see King, the Mystic shots actually matching the poke of the Rockets as JJ.
He's trying for the engages, but can't quite seem to get him. A hard punish coming through as JJ runs low. Inhibitor in the top side under attack. 2 inhibitors down as Dignitas desperately try a defense, but it is failing.
C9, the Baron's up, but the damage has been dealt. Say 3 inhibs is pretty good. We'll see if Dig pushes for anything. C9 TPing back. Looks like they want to end it now. Shaden.
Yeah, JJ going in. Here comes the teleports. C9 all convalescing into this final fight. Going after JJ. Devour goes through. It's a kill going through. As King's able to grab 1. It's 3. Picked up for nothing as Cloud9 are going to sweep the floor with Dignitas. Insanity, the last stand. He can stand no longer. A double kill coming out for Copy.
What a beautiful game from Cloud9 Academy as Shaden got a whiff of a lead in the jungle, did not let go of it, snowballed Darshan ahead, got Copy ahead off some TP plays in the side lanes, and man, the macro too. That play where they were able to use their 3 TPs after they took the top lane turret to not miss any gold or XP around the map, that is stuff that I'm not expecting to see from an LCS team, honestly. Like, that is the level of play that we know this Academy team has. I mean, they have players that have competed in that league at decent levels before. But when you match that with the prospect, the upside that Shaden and Copy have too, that's why this is such an exciting team. That's why we are pitching them as a team that can compete for the top of the table. That's why they believe they're a team that can compete at the top of the table. Good to see them live up to that with a dominant victory over Dignitas.
Yeah, they very much lived up to the hype on that one. I could talk all day about King and Destiny over in the bot lane, but I was so happy with how Darshan played that top side. It wasn't just a lead that was given. He took it and ran all the way with it by doing that hard freeze on Tony Top, where Tony Top was denied resources for so long. Keep in mind, Tony Top went down 8 times, and XU couldn't do a thing to relieve that wave, to get Toady top, to get that wave state into a position where he can farm up. And from there, just playing it into every single lane works so well for Cloud9. You know, hats off to their early game, their mid game, their late game. At all stages, they're firing on all cylinders. We are going to throw it over to a short break while we get ready for game number 2. But when we return, we will have Pyro here for our intermission.